everyone, how y'all doing? On this video, I'm going to talk about the new movie King Richard, which is on HBO Max. Wow. It was about damn time that I see Will Smith in a great role in a very good movie. It's about damn time because I felt that he's been missing so much in terms of delivering a good performance from a good script, and finally we get it. We finally get it, and he was magnificent as Richard Williams, which is the father of Venus and Serena Williams. He was a phenomenal in that role. And let me mention some things to you guys. I had to write it down because I did not want to forget. I could care less what the critics had to say, by the way, because I know that some critics were not too fond of the movie or Will Smith's performance, but screw that. If you haven't seen the movie, I suggest you watch it. I'll say 3 of my favorite scenes from the movies. Spoiler alert. I don't like doing it, but I had to talk about it. One of those scenes is when Will Smith, who plays Richard Williams, when he checks the journalist for trying to question Venus Williams' confidence, and she was only 14. So what I loved about it is how Richard Williams, how quick he was, from preventing something that could be very controversial. And that's what a great father does. And I'm gonna show you, and that's one of the scenes, one of the 3 scenes that I liked. I will mention the other ones. Another scene, yes, when he comes home and he finds the police inside the family's home, as well as a social worker, or the lady was from Child Protective Services, because they've heard some complaints about the family, and they want to make sure that if the kids were alright, because they're also questioning their education as well. And Richard Williams was giving her the business. I would say them, but it's mostly that one lady. He was giving her the business. And I love the fact how he came so protective about his 5 daughters, saying that, they live in a tough neighborhood like Compton. They're trying to prevent their daughters from ending up in the streets or being dead, and et cetera. So, but thankfully, they didn't take the girls away or nobody got arrested. I just hate how some people stick their nose where it don't belong. Yes, there are situations where, kids are being abused and things like that, and you have to prevent from something to become worse, so therefore you have to call cops, to help the person out. But in this situation, it was a misunderstanding, and it's a family. It's a strong family that they're trying to survive, especially in a tough neighborhood. So in this particular scene, is like, I just hate the snitching. I hate it. And I'm glad that Richard Williams' wife, the girl's mother, right after the whole commotion, she went across the streets and knock on the door and say, this better not happen again. So I loved it. A father's presence is very vital in a kid's life, and Will Smith provided that so well in this role. I don't know too much about Richard Williams. It's something that I had to look deeper into it. But if this is the kind of father he was, then, man, I salute him. And yes, there's also, the ego side. He had a big ego. He wanted the world to know how great he is and everything done for his girls. But his wife needed to remind him, as you will see in the movie, that that Venus needed to make her own decisions, and that, you know, you don't need the whole world to know how great you are. You know, like, we know how great you are. You don't need the confirmation from the world for that. But Richard is very outspoken. He's very protective of his family and disciplinarian. And that leads to my third favorite scene, in which they're all in the car driving, and Richard Williams kept telling to his daughters, "Don't brag, stop bragging." And this man was literally planning to leave their daughters outside at the store to teach them a lesson that just because you're winning, that doesn't mean that you're better than everyone else. Any person that's good or great at something can be beaten any day. So keep your foot on the gas and don't get cocky, stop bragging. And but thankfully that Richard Williams' wife stopped him from completely leaving those girls. But I really like this movie, I really did. I'm happy that Will Smith chose to do this movie. He made a right choice, because I've always been critical of his script selections and the kind of roles that he goes for. But I hope that, I feel like right now he's in the early Oscar contending for Best Lead Actor, but we'll see. We're in November, approaching December. So let's see what's gonna happen. That's my review for King Richard. Make sure you check it out on HBO Max. It's totally worth it.